Welcome to Strangereal MythBusters. This is a series where we try to uncover the mysteries hidden inside the Ace Combat games. In this video, can you actually destroy the drone inside the undersea tunnel? Does Count actually crash land? And most importantly, is Strangereal flat or not? But before we get into that, I just want to start with a very important correction. In my last video of what happens if you try to outrun the drone in the tunnel, I showed you that if you do get to the geofront or the base of the space elevator, the drone won't respawn and you can't go back because the stairs are closed, and you can't climb out of the space elevator because your auto limit has been increased, which basically breaks the game. But as some of you have pointed out in my previous video in the comments, that is actually a glitch. It only happens in case Count doesn't follow you and enter the base of the space elevator at the same time. Because if he does, as you can see in this footage right now, the drone still respawns even though you kinda outran him, and the repeaters show up and then you can destroy them and you can climb out of the space elevator like mission accomplished and everything is fine. So in short, you still can break the game, but only if you outrun Count, not the drone, because you gotta run from your ally. I don't know, but that's how it works. Now the same user also pointed out that you can do the reverse on the tunnel by starting on the top of the space elevator and coming down the tunnel and coming out of the little entrance where you normally start on the mission, but I'm not that good to do that, but in case you want to check it out, I'll have his video in the description. Now with that out of the way, let's go on solving the mysteries you guys asked me to based on the comments on the previous video. First, Lucas Souza asks, is it possible to destroy the drone while inside the tunnel? To accomplish this, I brought the XO2 equipped with the EML and also the parts that increase the firepower of the EML. There are two opportunities to get a hit with the EML. The first one is in the early stages of entering the tunnel. You're gonna need a lot of speed and able to catch up with the drone and get a line of sight and shoot it, and you still need to maneuver into the other tunnel in order not to die. The second opportunity is when you go into those main halls where you change between tunnels and basically the drone spawns behind you so they can shoot lasers that actually count. So what you have to do is pull a post-down maneuver and hit the drone. I did try that and I end up dying, but I still hit the drone. But based on the two hits that I got that you can see in this video clip, I don't think it's possible to destroy the drone. At least not until you get to the base of the space elevator. And by the way, thanks Count for not shooting the drone when you were in a perfect firing position. The second mystery comes from Nature X Wars comment, where he asked me to try to beat the shutters and go underneath the shutters that were closing, so basically I didn't have to switch tunnels. Obviously, speed is essential for this task, and I know some of you advocate for the MiG-31 because it is the fastest jet in the game, but it's not as maneuverable and it's also tall, which is not very good when you're trying to go underneath the shutters. So I tried to go with the XO2 because it's almost just as fast, and it also folds down the tail, so it's a very small airplane, very compact to go underneath the tunnels. And in order to build up speed, instead of just accelerating while I was entering the tunnel, I tried to build acceleration and build up speed before actually entering the tunnel, so I could enter at maximum speed, about 3,400 km per hour. Which is also way faster than what I tried to do in my previous video, because the airplane was not tuned at that time. And now as you can see, the first shutters is pretty much impossible. I crashed and crashed and crashed many times. The second set of shutters on the right side tunnel looked more doable, and I tried and I crashed and I crashed and I crashed. It does look like there is a gap that my XO2 could fit in, but it's like there's an invisible wall that keeps me from going inside the tunnel. So in short, you can't beat the shutters. And the next mystery I was asked to solve came from Mike WJ94, asking me to use the free camera mod and then looking if Count actually did a forced landing with his damaged F-15. Here's a clip from the mission while you're exiting the space elevator. You can hear from the audio that Count is actually trying to do the emergency landing, and you're gonna see that he disappears from your minimap, your radar.
Warning.
Anyway, here goes.
Stall warning. Stall warning.
Come on, baby, stay with me just a bit more.
Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning.
So after that happened, I paused the game, went with the free camera mod back to the base of the space elevator, looked around there, and Count is not actually there. There's nothing there. I couldn't find any trace of his aircraft, So I guess he lied, because not only he did the forced landing, he disappeared. We're seeing so many new Balkan technologies over here. So in short, Count's F-15 just disappears from the map. Because I guess as a player, you're not supposed to go back and look, so it really doesn't matter from Project Ace's perspective. And now here's a mystery that nobody asked me to do, but I did it anyways with the free camera mod. I tried going to space to see the space station that Osea allegedly built to complete the space elevator project. And I got at the end of the cables. Osea lied. They didn't finish the space elevator. Just the cables, they just stop pretty high there into the atmosphere. So as I've been saying in all my previous videos, don't trust Osea. They start projects, they don't finish them. Yes, I should trust Belka. Belka is a good, trustworthy country. And since we are already so high into the atmosphere here, I decided to take a look and see if Strangereal is flat or not. And surprisingly, Strangereal is not flat. Checkmate, flat earthers or flat strangerers. So yeah, thank you for watching this episode of Strangereal MythBusters, and don't forget, there's new merch on my Redbubble store, link is in the description, and let me know, what other mysteries do you want me to solve in the Ace Comic games? Leave me that as a comment, and I'll see you guys next time.